Go about 2 feet. You got to grab it by the legs. Good, perfect. Okay. It says, are we live? Yeah, we're live. And good morning, Savannah and the Low Country. Once again, it's a Saturday morning. You gotta love Black Betty on a Saturday morning. Welcome to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. And it's the coach and the AD. Once again, we're glad you're here. We're glad you're watching, and it's going to be a really big show. And once again, hopefully you're safe and everything's going good in this little pandemic situation that we're in. And it's always a lot of fun that I can get out here and talk about local sports, and that's what we're going to be doing. We got a great lineup for you. First of all, I always forget to do this. We got to thank the presenting sponsor, Coach's Corner. As you can see in the upper right of the video, Coach's Corner, John Henderson has graciously let us come in here in the Sound Garden. There's nobody in here to do this every Saturday morning because we want to be out in the fresh air. We don't want to be stuck in a room, and we got to be doing this social distancing thing. So got to thank John Henderson. Here's the lineup. Right after we do the introduction right here, we're going to go to a man that knows a lot about baseball. Baseball has been very, very good to this man. Sports has been good to this man. He's been a sports reporter for over 40 years. Okay, first stint after he got out of Ramapo College, he went to the New York Post, wrote there or worked there as a columnist for about 8 years. Took his little shtick, as we stay in New York, across to California. Worked at the San Diego Union Tribune for about 8 years, then came back home in 1998, and he's been a columnist at the New York Post since then. So we'll be bringing on Kevin Kernan, and then we'll go to the next guest, Little Shark Football.
Oh, yeah, Little Shark Football here. Get talked to our new Islands head football coach and, get going with everything. I'm curious to see, of course, how they're adapting things. As well from a coaching perspective. This is a springtime where, as a new coach, hey, you need these practices with you guys. So I'm interested to see how they're keeping up with, how they're going to keep evolving with football and just get his kind of take on all this as well. We've had a couple coaches on, but each coach is a little bit different. So I'm excited to see the new Islands coach and DeShawn Printup. And also, he's a history teacher. So I'm just excited about that as well because I'm a history guy. So I'm going to ask him kind of what his favorite parts of being a history teacher are.
The thing about Sean Printup, because this is his first head coaching job. He's 29 years old, played at Savannah State, stayed here in Savannah, Georgia. We'll get his history when we talk to him, but that's got to be exciting. And then we'll have one of the best three-sport athletes in Savannah. I mean, there's about 5 or 6 that can win the Ashley Deering Award, which should be announced the first week of May. This kid's all over the place. You know his brother, you know his sister, and Gavin Stewart from Benedictine Military School. He's going to walk on to play football at Georgia Tech, which he's a soccer guy. We're going to find out why he chose to play a little football.
We kick. We're kickers. And so, maybe that was the draw. But, yeah, I'm interested to talk to Gavin about, hey, did it come down to where – hey, Tech was the best fit for him just at that level. I know soccer-wise, he got, I'm interested to see where he would have landed with that as well. So great lineup this morning, and let's get to the show, man.
Let's get to the show. We got to bring our guest on. Like I said, he's been working for the New York Post for a very, very long time. He remembers baseball has been very, very good to him. He's the columnist now for the New York Mets. He covered the Knicks. I want to find out what he did out in the good old Cali or out in the West Coast or the West, as we call it. And then, of course, he's back home. He came back home to New York in 1998 and has been a columnist up there. He's also works with a guy I graduated from, Paul Schwartz, who covers the New York Giants. Joining us now live on the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, the coach and the
AD.
We have Kevin Kernan from the New York Post, the columnist. Kevin, what's going on?
Just enjoying this beautiful weather. I'm in St. Augustine, actually. I moved to St. Augustine a few years ago, and so I go up north.
Kevin, you got your audio on?
Yeah, I got it on.
We can't hear you. You got your microphone on?
Mic's on. Yeah. Let me see. Sorry about that. It's on. So
still can't hear you.
How about that? Any better there? No.
I got the volume on here. You got. Oh, I see. My fault, Kevin. It's the coach's fault. Kevin, you there?
Being muted.
Try now, Kevin.
Yeah, I'm used to being muted. I don't know.
I still got no audio.
I wonder if his volume's up on his computer.
Do you have the volume up on your computer?
It's all the way up. Sorry. Maybe we should try later.
Still not getting your audio. You got to love the internet.
Sorry about that.
You can hear me, though, right? Give me a thumbs up.
I can hear you.
We can't hear you.
My audio is on. My audio is on.
You want to retry and hook up again?
Yeah, try it again. Yes, try again.
We're going to try to hook back up with
We're going to try and hook back up with Kevin right here. Just trying to figure out why his audio is not working.
But one, we're going to get to Kevin. We're going to ask Kevin, how he's doing in New York. New York being the epicenter of the pandemic. So I'm interested to get his take on what that looks like. What his daily life is like right now in New York City, and is he able to get out and about at all, and get to talk to someone who's really in the middle of it.
All right, let's try this one. Okay, let's get removed from stream. Okay, now you're sideways.
Yeah.
Give us a mic check.
Flip it there. Yep. I don't know what to tell you. Can you hear me? Let me try my phone.
We're trying to get a mic check here. All right. Gotta love a live internet.
We'll have to work on getting Kevin back at us here. A lot of things we're looking to cover with Kevin. From that standpoint, we'll keep on trying to get Kevin back on here. If not, we can always grab him, see if we can work him out.
We can work him in later on. We just got to find out why the audio is not working. But anyway, yeah, baseball. I know in South Korea, he's trying to add again.
Can you hear me?
It's still not working.
Still can't hear.
Okay, we'll have to cancel then.
Something wrong with the audio.
Yeah. This is my phone now too. So.
Could he call in?
I've never done the call.
My phone, so I switched over, so I'm not working.
All right. Well, we're trying to get Kevin going here. We'll talk a little bit about, like I said, next if we don't get Kevin on, next up would be, of course, Sean Printup. But we're going to try to continue to see if we can get Kevin, see what's going on with his mic there. Where he's hearing us, but we can't hear him. So I think it's probably on his side.
You try it again. Let me send him another link.
More than anything. All right. So hey, a couple things we'll talk about in the meantime. While this is going on, is of course Governor Kemp started to open up business back here in Georgia this week, and so first, of course, the first question was how does that impact high school athletics? Well, he sent an email out the very next day talking about how it was still, if schools are not in session, athletics are not in session. But it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, because if more and more areas release restrictions of gatherings and stuff, I don't know how Georgia High School can sit here and hold people from congregating. And so it's an interesting dynamic we're in, and what's going to be even more interesting going forward, I'm sure as the weeks come, we'll have more information about this. But you got spots like Atlanta and Albany that obviously have more cases than South Georgia or some rural counties who have not stopped whatsoever. And, their schools might have been shut down, public schools, because the governor did it, but, didn't have, they're not having any cases. They don't have restrictions outside that. And so, to balance them all out is going to be an interesting thing.
Good. Keep on going. I'm trying to, I think they say in the microphone audio.
All right, so once again, we're trying to get, we're having an audio difficulty with our guests. Our guests can hear us, but we are not able to hear our guests. So we did the mic check before, everything sounded good. This is the first time we've had any issue with the sound from a guest coming on. And so, we'll keep working at it here.
You keep on going, buddy.
All right. So in the meantime, while we're doing that, like I said, nothing like doing live internet here. We are missing, all right, Kevin Kernan, baseball guy we were talking about from New York Post, 40 years in the industry, and unable to get him on. We got him, and just we can't hear him. So we're trying to figure out what is. So in Q, we got DeShawn Printup. All right, the new head football coach at Islands High School. So we're ecstatic about talking to Coach Printup about what he envisions Islands football to be. Also, he's a history guy, so I'm interested to talk to him about that. And then once again, we'll have Gavin Stewart on coming. We're finishing up talking a little about Georgia high schools. We're trying to work out the technology aspect of, hey, if we are opening back up, but schools are closed, and some areas can congregate, how come we can't all, we can't start getting our student athletes back out? And so in the meantime, Georgia High School said, no, you cannot go back and have practices or any organized activities. But what you see over social media all day is people all over the place, having some kind of organized deal, because student athletes have to continue to work out and produce. So we're getting them back.
Okay. Bye.
I think we're getting them back here. All right.
Hey, way to go on. Add that there. You got to add that. All right. I do apologize to everybody, especially I'm going to apologize to Kevin. Kevin, can you hear us now?
Well, I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Good. Keep on going.
Yep. Can you hear me now?
Try it again.
Hello?
Yeah, we
can hear you now. We can hear you now.
Not super loud, but we can hear you.
Okay, I'll yell.
Okay, let me move over a little. How come? Okay, you got to move over a little.
I see you fine.
Okay, yeah, we're setting up our little social distancing here thing, so I can get back in the recording here. So, I know what the problem is. You got to understand, people, new programs, new things. There we go. We got both of us in the video. Like I said, Kevin Kernan, longtime columnist, been doing this for a long time. Once again, I apologize about the technical difficulties, but it's glad to have you on.
Great to be with you guys, and I hope you can hear me now.
Oh, we can hear you now. We can hear you loud and clear. So, once again, tell us how you got into this business almost a long time ago.
Well, I played baseball at Ramapo College, knew the hockey players, started writing a column because I was inside, knew everybody, became the most popular column in the college paper, and I got fired. I got fired because the editor didn't like sports. So I ran for editor next semester, became the editor, and I fired him and took over and just went from there, got hired right away. And went on to covered my first job out of college was covering the New York Giants football team. So I've covered all the major sports, covered the Knicks, covered the covered the Yankees, covered the Mets, covered the Padres, covered the Chargers, back to New York, covered the nationally everything you can imagine. So it hasn't stopped. The 44 years have flown by.
Well, I'm telling you right now, it's got to be an exciting time. I mean, you started out like I started out way back when with a typewriter, and then to a computer, and then to everything else that's going on. Tell us, from when you began to what it's like right now, and especially without any sports going on, how are you covering sports?
Yeah, it's not easy. This has been the most trying time of obviously it's a difficult time for everybody. But for us at the Post, we're still putting out a good sports section. It's much more fun, obviously, when there's sports going on. But I'm using my connections. I'm calling people that I have relationships with. Just a small example. This week, I got a hold of Pete Alonso. Pete started a new foundation. And, he's basically the hottest thing for the Mets right now. A great thing to help people. So I tried to get Pete, Pete opened up about a lot of things. Bobby Richardson, actually South Carolina's own. I spoke to Bobby recently. This is the 60th anniversary of the 1960 World Series. And I'm old enough to remember that World Series where Bill Mazeroski hit the home run. And Bobby opened up about everything from, what his life has been. Of course, he's a lay pastor. And he does a great job. But he was very close to Mickey Mantle, And on his deathbed, Mickey had basically opened up to Bobby about everything. So we talked about that. And there's also some interesting things in there. Like, for example, going way back, 1962, after they lose the World Series in 60 on the home run to Mazeroski, they win in 62. Ralph Terry, who gave up the home run, pitches a complete game victory. Willie McCovey lines out to Bobby Richardson for the last out of the World Series of the season. Bobby makes a catch. It's a scalding line drive. He doesn't see Willie McCovey for 45 years. Then he goes, he's at an event in San Francisco. Willie walks up to him and says, "Bobby, I bet your hand still hurts." So, I try to keep it, also, the draft was just done. So there's still a lot to cover. We can't wait to get back to covering sports. I was in Port St. Lucie in Tampa up until last month, middle of the month. So we've we'll be back there soon, I hope.
I know you were very excited about having Kevin on. If you're listening or you're watching, as it says right there, Kevin Kernan, New York Post columnist. He's been doing this for 40 years. Up to you, AD.
Ken, what's been the biggest change, or has there been the biggest change in covering sports from time you started to now? What's been is it just, the athletes, the technology? What's the biggest change you've seen in covering sports during your time?
Well, that's a great question. And I think the thing you see, and you guys see it yourself, because I'm familiar with what you do a phenomenal job on the local scene down there, and you help a lot of people. And yourself from covering all the years, athletes don't change. They're pretty much the same guys they were, when I started. I walked into the Yankee clubhouse, 1977. Wow. Thurman Munson, I went up to him and asked a question. And they test you. They always test you. That's what athletes do. When you're in their clubhouse, they test you. You're in their domain, especially professional athletes. So the first thing when I went up to Thurman, I said, "Thurman, you got a minute?" And he looked at me up and down. Now he yells across the clubhouse to Goose Gossage, and goes, "Hey, Goose!" Now everybody in the clubhouse is looking at me. So it's not, now I'm the center of attention. I'm being tested, right? He goes, "Hey, Goose, look at this bleeping red-headed leprechaun. What an question." And then he repeats it. And so I don't lose my cool. I just say, "Are we done?" And he goes, "Yeah, kid, what do you need?" And he was always good to me from that point on. The irony of that story is I helped Goose get in the Hall of Fame. I was one of the guys who super pushed for him, got the numbers that showed how good he was. So you never know. So the athletes, I've always had a good rapport with the athletes. What's changed is their availability. That's changed. And with this now, I think what you're going to see, and this scares me about the job a little bit. I think now you're going to, with the social distancing, any way they can get us out of the clubhouse, they will get us out of the clubhouse. And the baseball writers they've controlled the clubhouse. The NFL doesn't have that kind of control. College sports, you see what happens. High school, you have a lot of availability. You get the kids, you talk to the kids whenever. But if we don't have that availability, we can't tell their stories. And in the end, we're helping them. So they're only cutting off their nose to spite their face if the guys on top, and this is usually top management, it's not the players. Most of the time, the players have great relationships with the reporters, and that's what I've always found out through the years. Tony Gwynn, I covered. Tony got trust in me when I won the NCAA basketball tournament the team was putting on way back when. So that's the kind of access you have. I still have that access with players. I've changed the definition of my job. I go to spring training early because everybody else comes down when they say you can come down. My attitude was I'll go to spring training when there is spring training, when the players are out there. And as a result, I've gotten great stories 2 weeks before anybody else. I'll go visit guys at home. David Wright, quick story, but it shows you about David Wright, Virginia kid. When he was before he was a rookie, I went and visited him at his home in Virginia, and this is how you find out about people. We're walking. He's showing me his bedroom in his parents' home. This is David Wright, future superstar. We're walking down the stairs. He's got 3 brothers. One of his brothers comes up and gives him a forearm shiv right in the chest, just as we're walking up. And at that point, I said, "This kid's going to be okay." And so you get to learn about players. My job is to tell their stories. And even when you're like 84 years old, like Bobby Richardson, if I get a chance to connect with you, I'll tell your story. Steve Dalkowski, he just died yesterday. He was the one, Bull Durham, Nick LaLoosh, the character was patterned after. I interviewed Steve about 7 or 8 years ago in the retirement home he was in Connecticut, and got great stories about him and other people who saw him. Davey Johnson. He said he once saw him throw a ball against a center field fence and break a plank in half. That's what this guy was like. So the stories don't change. The job has changed. You're writing. Me too, Carl. I used to write off a little. I got it right behind me. I got a little portable typewriter. I wrote those stories. Would give them to a man who basically would send along 1 page out of a time. You'd pay a quarter to get that sent. And now, of course, you can do things like this even in the blink of an eye. So in many ways, the job is easier because you have more access to getting the information out faster. And the other thing which I want to mention too is this generation of players is never afraid to give you their number for the most part. In the old days, you really had to earn their trust to get their home number. And I can't tell you how many days, and my daughter Kelly, of course, lives in Savannah, and she can attest to this. I can't tell you how many days we waited at home before cell phones for Scott Boris to call me back. So, missed a lot of family little things like this and that. But then also, the kids would go with me on trips and got to meet these players. And really, the players, just like you, I do my job because I love it. And especially, I also love the local level, high school. I get the thrill to me that I thought the draft, just a quick point on the NFL draft, I thought it was an interesting draft this year because you really got to see the players at home, and you saw the reactions of the families. It's a totally different look when they're wearing the $2,000 suit. They're sitting in the big room, and everybody's coming up, and there's a couple hugs and cheers. But seeing the players at home in their own environment, I found that to be the most fascinating part of this draft. And I've always been a good read on people's personalities, and you saw some interesting personalities in the NFL draft. So in a way, even though things changed much for the worse this year, that was a fascinating draft.
All right. We're down here in the Deep South. You've covered the Mets for a long time. You've covered the Yankees. Larry Chipper Jones. You got any good stories on how he always beat up on the New York Mets?
Oh, yeah. Chipper and I go way back. I've known him forever. Actually, the best story involves my brother, who's a sports writer in Florida. He covered Chipper in high school. So I knew Chipper before anybody, and through my brother. And Chipper, you get in there with Chipper, and Chipper was the most. I always told Chipper, and he laughs about it to this day. I always said, Chipper, you should have been a Yankee. You were the closest thing to Mickey Mantle that I've ever seen. And he has to say, and the great thing about Chipper, and this is why you gotta love Chipper down in the South and for the fans. Chipper tells you what he thinks. Win or loss, Chipper would stand there, and even at that famous game when Piazza hit the home run. Chipper was very honest about that. Chipper is one of my favorite athletes of all time. So honest, and you can tell how much he loves the game, and so good. That swing is phenomenal. And to be able to see Chipper all those years beat up on the Mets was fun to do. And he really loved it too. And that's what it takes. You have to embrace the hate. If you're playing in New York, and if you're playing for the Yankees and stuff or the Mets, you have to embrace the fact that you will be booed, and you have to use that to fire you up. Chipper would have been a super success in anywhere he's gone, any team he played for. I was there when Chipper got in the Hall of Fame. So, I'd love to see Chipper get back in the game when his kids get a little older, because I think he listened. When Bobby Cox said something, Chipper listened and learned. And I think Chipper would bring a lot to the table if he got back someday and helped I know he works for him a little bit, but really got into either a front office position or a field in uniform manager type position. So he's one of the best players I've ever covered. Also very close with Chip Caray, the broadcaster for the Braves, and Chip is itching to get back to work too. So the Braves and the Mets, it's always fun to see that series because somehow the Mets always mess it up.
All right, before I get the coach to the AD, he's the soccer coach too. Before the AD, I coined him the AD, but he really is a coach deep down in heart. DeShawn Printup, our next guest. Hang in there, buddy. We had technical difficulties. We'll let you in a couple minutes. We're talking to Kevin Kernan. Kevin, one thing I want to let you know, and you know it, it took a Brave to bring the Yankees back to prominence, and it took a Yankee to bring the Braves to prominence. You know that.
Okay, you got me.
Joe Torre played for the Braves.
Yes, of course.
Bobby Cox played for the Yankees.
And Bobby Cox played third base. I remember that when Bobby played. And Bobby, he's another, Bobby was, Bobby's, he's going through some health issues and things like that, those things that Bobby went through. But Bobby, it was always fun. You could always find Bobby, just for the listeners. If I needed to find Bobby, and this is what makes me different, I knew Bobby would be in the right field bullpen at Shea Stadium. He'd be smoking a cigar back there. So if I needed to find Bobby, I would find him. And you saw right. That's a great point with Bobby and Joe, and the fact they're both third basemen too. Don't forget
yes,
that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So and Joe, thank God that Joe had that second or third chance, you could say, managing a team. And I think he learned some valuable lessons. And most of all, what he learned it's the players. The players make the difference. He defended his players. The only guy he really kind of would always throw out there to the wolves would be David Wells. And David deserved that for sometimes because that's how David was. And
right.
Even to this day, I don't know what their relationship is like. But Torre did the championships he won. I was there when he went to the Hall of Fame. I'm glad to see he's stepping back a little bit now into baseball because this guy's still working way too hard. I mean, he should be enjoying all his homes. And Bobby Cox was every player I've talked to, Greg Maddux, very close to Maddux, Gavin, and Maddux has great stories. There's nobody like Greg Maddux. I'm telling you right now. The little things he would do to annoy his teammates in a fun way, and this is clubhouse stuff. It's off the charts. And I was there also for John Rocker, don't forget. And so I would walk into the Braves clubhouse and I'd go over to Maddux and Maddux would say to me, "What's our boy say today?" Meaning, what's Rocker said today to get us in trouble? So the Braves clubhouse was a great clubhouse to work. Every one of those, I'm not surprised those guys are many of them are in the media now. Frank Core, another great guy, and because Bobby set the tone for them to be. The clubhouse was their home, but you can still be yourself. And that's the key. And that's what Joe Torre did in New York. So that's a great comparison.
Hey, last thing I want to ask, being in New York, you guys are in the epicenter of the pandemic. Just kind of let our listeners know what's been like for you and how's the city responding and, kind of what you're able to do.
Well, actually, I'm not in the city, but I talk to the office every day and those things. And basically, they've just, it's quiet. Guys, I talked to some of my teammates, so to speak, yesterday. They can still get out to Central Park. All the food places are still open. Everything's takeout. There's a sense of camaraderie, and it's you hear the reports and they're absolutely terrible. But New Yorkers have a way of coming together at the worst times, and I think that's what they've done now. Hopefully, they can get through this and it doesn't get worse. There isn't a rebound, so to speak, and it's just it's sad to see because I go back to when I used to play softball in Central Park. you go in New York any time of day, and it's teeming with people. And now it's a ghost town, and it's tough for those guys. And I'm very, very sad now. Everyone knows someone who was affected, but our top photographer, Anthony Causey, he's our main. We have 2 sports photographers, and Anthony caught it and died. Anthony died, and it was a terrible loss for the paper, a terrible loss to New York, and the outpouring from the athletes to Anthony, because he became friends with these guys when he took their pictures. Because this is let me just tell you a little bit about Anthony before you let me go. But he would be like, the day Syndergaard came in with no shirt, I said, hey, go shoot Syndergaard. He's crawling. Syndergaard is doing wind sprints in the outfield, and Anthony's underneath him, shooting him from up to get the sky, to get the beautiful shot, the rippling muscles. That's the guy that did his job, 100% every day. So we've lost some great people. Hopefully their spirit lives on in many ways, and it's been rough it's certainly different up there than it is anywhere else. I can say that.
All right. You got a minute. I'm putting you on the clock, okay? It's like the NFL draft. I'll give you 2 minutes. Okay, Korean baseball is going to start May 5th. When are we going to start baseball, the game that I love so much, and I know you love, and I know Coach loves? When are we going to start baseball?
Well, I said right from the first day that it would probably be after Memorial Day, and I'm sticking to that. I think it's going to be early June, and I've spoken to a lot of people about this. When the players get back, they will be able to recalibrate quickly. So I think it'll be like a 2 to 3 weeks workouts, and hopefully nothing goes backwards. And if things move forward, we will start baseball, I believe, in June.
All right, Kevin, say hello to Kelly. Say hello to Mark. Say hello to the Cameron family, Jason and Brooke. This is the only way they're going to see you.
The only way they're going to see me. I haven't seen them in a while. And, of course, that's a great family, the Camerons. And good luck to Jason. Obviously his new job, football coach and high school football coach, fantastic. And Mark and over at How to Run, they do a great job as well.
Kevin, I appreciate this. Sorry, the technical difficulties was me, not this old guy, not the young guy that's talking to us. So I apologize, but great. I appreciate your insight. Hey, you know what? The stories are great. I mean, I loved the Mets growing up when I switched over to the Yankees after they got rid of Tom Seaver. So thank you so much.
Yeah, and hey, thanks for all you do. We look forward to hopefully we can get you back on when baseball season gets back in the groove and get some more stories from you. It's been a blessing to have you. Stay safe up there.
You too, fellas, and keep up the great work.
And anytime you're ready to come on again, just let me know. You don't have to tell Kelly or Mark. Just call me, okay?
You got a number. We'll do it. And when I'm in Savannah, we'll do it live right in the studio. Nothing can screw up technically.
That'll be awesome. Thanks, Kevin.
Take care.
I mean, what do you want me to say? I mean,
oh my gosh,
what a plethora. SAT word means a lot. What a plethora knowledge of the game of baseball, the sports stories, football. I mean, Tony Gwynn, Goose Gossage. I mean, Derek Jeter. I want to hear stories about Derek Jeter. And he talked about Lawrence Chipper, as we call him, Chipper Jones. So I love Chipper Jones too. I know I hated the Braves when I was up in New York, but I'm telling you right now, Chipper Jones was always one of my favorites. And I can remember being there and listening to the people saying, Lawrence. And what did Lawrence do?
Yeah, he put it
threw the Mets under the bus.
Yeah. As we're transitioning here, we'll get to the people who make this possible. Once again, we're live here in the Sound Garden at Coach's Corner. All sports, all the time. That's Coach's Corner and Thunderbolt. Coach's Corner has been voted the best in Savannah for 20 years running, and it's no wonder. Sports, live music, delicious and abundant pub food. So today, all right, the smokers are not going, but they have plenty of smoked meat for you if you still want to pick up ribs, chicken, Boston butts, that same, but pub food, full menu still available today, all right, because there's always a reason to check out Coach's Corner right here. And it's all about helping Savannah stay Savannah strong. Coach is open for lunch or dinner, but remember, it's curbside takeout or delivery only. Okay, so make sure you call Coach's Corner or come by. All right, 912-352-2933. Once again, that's 912-352-2933.
And John and Adele Henderson have kept this restaurant open since the first day that we had to shut down everything. They've been a big attribute to our community. With Savannah Strong, 912 Strong, Specialty Sports. You want a T-shirt? Sierra Thomas, love you, babe. like my new shirt. The green one got kind of a little old, a little faded, but once again, support our local businesses. And John and Adele Henderson, we appreciate what you've done. All right, let's go to Calvary Day School. Been a sponsor of the Karl DeMasi Sports Report for a very, very long time. At Calvary, okay, I do apologize. I'm going to let you know quick. I'm wearing my reading glasses. I can't see distance. I need them to drive, but I can read fine without them on. But, of course, my batch of my bifocal or multifocal contact lenses have gone through this pandemic. I can't get new ones, so I'm wearing my old ones. I can only see with them in distance. So here goes to the readers, okay? I'm showing my age, okay? Don't say anything over there, young guy.
I'm not saying a word, man.
At Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary Day, it's so good to say we are one school, one mission, and one vision. Faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School would consider it a privilege to meet you virtually, personally, but right now, social distancing, okay? Call the man, class of 2003, the head baseball coach. Call Philip Lee, the director of admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2291 to have a set up a meeting to see what Calvary Day School is all about.
Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering. He always gets a kick at me.
This is my favorite part of the show when he tries to do this New York Deli thing.
I'm trying.
I think if Kevin was here, he'd laugh at you too.
He would, without a doubt. Yo, you still want some real New York Deli and Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road in Savannah, Georgia. During this social distancing problem, Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering will take calls for pickup at 912-354-2914. Once again, that is 912-354-2914. On the phone, capiche?
Capiche. Come on.
I got the SH at the end.
You got it.
If you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered, go to savtakeout.com. Once again, it's savtakeout.com. The place to order. Remember, Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering. We ain't New York style. We are New York style.
You got to love a Southern boy from Gastonia, North Carolina, trying to do that, okay? Thompson, sporting goods and trophies. They are closed. They are going to reopen, but once again, proud sponsor of the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. For over half a century, when it comes to uniforms, sporting goods, trophies, Thompson has got you covered. From cleats to caps, and the best prices on the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, from volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. So come get equipped at Thompson Sports Shop. New location, that's right, 42 West Montgomery Crossroads, Suite C in Savannah, open Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 6. And seasonal on Saturdays when this virtual distancing thing is over. At locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies, everybody's a winner.
There you go.
We got to do one more.
Oh, the Wetherington Chiropractic.
The man that is inspired.
That guy.
Dr. Bart.
Guy. Oh,
all right.
My gosh.
Your back hurts. Another body part hurts all the time. It makes you mad. The pain drives you crazy. You want to try and pick something up and throw it across the room? Try to throw a pitch to Chipper Jones? Ain't going to happen, okay? At the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care, pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and, of course, achieve a healthier life. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located in 2 locations, Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, and, yes, they're still open. He's still doing it for you. Dr. Bart Wetherington at 329 Eisenhower Drive, Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, and then he goes up to where it's cooler and pooler at 114 Canal Street, 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs. All right. I'm not going to waste time trying to get the music. This young man's been waiting patiently.
Yes.
The new head ball coach at Islands High School, he took over the team for, I think, the last 3 or 4 games. The Islands High School Sharks. He did a great job. The only loss was coming to the Benedictine Cadets in a great game. Yes. And you got to give him a lot of credit. He's only 29, played at Savannah State. He's up from the northern part of the state over there by Tennessee. Joining us live now on the Coach's Corner internet streaming hotline, the head ball coach over at Islands High School, DeShawn Printup. I always mess that up, Printup. So once again, thank you for waiting patiently. I'm sorry I messed up on the technical stuff here. I didn't turn the mic on. The headphones on the right way on my computer. So you've been waiting a long time, buddy, just like you've been waiting a long time to coach football.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've been patiently waiting. Patiently.
All right. So you want to take it off, find out where he's from and what he's doing down here?
Yeah, Coach, give us a little bit of your background, where home is for you and how you made your way here to Savannah, Georgia.
All right. I'm originally from Calhoun, Georgia. I went to high school there, played under Coach Lamb, Coach Al Lamb. I came to Savannah by way of Savannah State University. I had a football scholarship. I played there for 4 years. Then I went back home. Wasn't really sure what I was going to do. Coach Lamb got me involved with our local team, with our middle school, starting out, and then with the high school later on. So I was there for 4 years. Missed Savannah tremendously. So I applied for a job, and Islands called me. I accepted the job, started coaching football. That was in 2018. So here I am, 2020, as head coach.
Well, was official on March 5th.
Yep.
Hey, so just a little bit. So, give us your background. You the offensive side of the guy, defensive side of the guy. What did you play at Savannah State?
I'm a defensive side of the guy. I played safety and corner at Savannah State. I've been working with the defense since I've been here. And I'm going to continue on the defensive side of the ball as head coach also.
Nice.
I mean, he's doing a great job. Like I said, once again, got to put the readers back on for my notes here. Okay, he coached the final 3 games for Islands. They lost to Benedictine 37-26. It was a great game in his debut, okay, coming after a lot of things that were going on before closing out with a 48-6 win over Savannah High and a 27-12 victory over playoff-bound Windsor Forest in the regular season finale. When you got the job as the temporary or the interim head coach, what were your thoughts? Hey, I've never done this before. And, you ran with it. I mean, talking to the quarterback that came in late in the season, DeShawn Adams, it sounds like the kids love playing for you, and they feel like you know what they're all about.
Yes, sir. On that day when I was called in to say I was taking over, it was a crazy day. It was a wild day. I had to address the team first, tell them that I still was going to continue to coach for them, and hopefully they still would play for me. So I gave them a day to make the decision. So we came back Tuesday. We practiced Tuesday and Wednesday, had the Thursday game. I was very proud of them. And the biggest thing I've been trying to do is just get them to know that I care about them. And once you get a kid to know that you care about them, they care about you, and they'll do anything for you.
You're right, Coach. It's all about relationships, and that's what it is, especially in the high school. You play, like you said, you play one of the legendary coaches in the state of Georgia, Coach Lamb. So just walk us through a little bit how, like I said, you play for maybe one of the best Hall of Fame coaches in the state of Georgia. How has he impacted you, one, through your playing career, and now how do you look back at him and his influence on what you'll be taking away coaching-wise?
I just remember being a senior, sitting in his office. We have our senior exit meetings, and he always told me if I graduated college and came back, he'd give me a job, and he stuck to his word. When I graduated college, I wasn't really sure what I was going to do. I knew I wanted to coach, but I really wasn't sure about being a teacher at the time. But he got me started as a parapro. Then I went on to get my master's degree. Then I became a certified teacher and coach. And one thing about Coach Lamb, you always know that he cares about you. And as far as my coaching goes, one thing I will say about him is he always kept a quality staff. So that's what I'm working on now, getting a quality staff of guys that have the same ideas and mindset that I have, that show the kids that they care about them, going to still instill that discipline aspect that we are trying to do right now. So that's pretty much it.
You had a great mentor, and Coach or the AD, I'm getting this mixed up. He says you had one of the best in the state, and everybody knows about Coach Lamb. And, it's unbelievable. If you're tuning in right now, it's the coach and the AD, Karl DeMasi, Chad Griffin. You see it scrolling along the bottom. We have Coach DeShawn Printup from Islands High School, head coach, first-time head coach, 29 years old over at Islands High School. You got to be excited, Coach. This is your first job. You're coming in, but no spring football, probably nothing till through the month of June. How are you going to keep these guys in shape? How are you going to keep them doing what they need to do so you can be bigger, faster, and stronger when the season starts?
Yeah, Coach, right now I have three coaches that are still in the building, so we break them up. I'm in charge of our upcoming senior class, have another coach that's in charge of the upcoming junior class and another upcoming freshman class. So we check in with those guys 2 or 3 times a week. We haven't done anything football really yet because of wanting to really focus on academics right now. So we're going to pick up with the football stuff on May 4th. We're going to have a Zoom team meeting. And then just from there, we have been sending out workouts to them. So they have at-home workouts that they can do. But Starting May 4th, that was around the time that we were going to start our install for football. We weren't going to have spring practice because I was the head track coach also, and my other assistant, my offensive coordinator, he was helping me with track. So we were just going to do installs twice a week, and that's what we're still going to do. We're going to move forward with that same plan, but instead of doing it in person, we're going to do it via Zoom.
Coach, tell us about you got a lot of talent over there at Islands. Tell us about, let the viewers know who they should be looking at this upcoming fall season when the Island Sharks take the field. One, a beautiful new complex, beautiful new field out there at Islands High School. I got to go out there with Georgia Power and look at the lights, which is going to be awesome. The field's awesome. So incredible what Chatham County's done for you guys. Beautiful facility. But let the people know, hey, who's Islands going to be, who's some names that they need to be looking for in the fall for you guys?
All right, I'll start off on the offensive side of the ball. Really need to watch our quarterback, Jaden Adams. He's a senior. He came in last year. I think he had 12 touchdown passes to 1 interception. He led the team in rushing also. I think he had almost 800 yards rushing. Watch out for him. We have a running back, Donovan Davalier. He's a senior also. He's going to be good for us, a little scat back, come out the backfield. He can catch, run. He can do it all. And move on to our offensive line. Really, really watch those guys. It's a group. They're going to be led by a few seniors, Anthony Frankowski, Sam Sneed, DeShawn Royals. We have another returning senior. He'll be a junior, Julio Arrieta is our center. And we have a few guys that fill the other spot. Daryl Smith, he's an upcoming sophomore. But then our wide receiver group, they're going to be a good group also, led by a few seniors, John Dickerson, Mason Lewis, he's a junior. And we have some more spots that we're going to fill up. But then on to our defensive side, this is the side that I think is really going to help us. We have a lot of guys coming back. They've been 4-year starters pretty much. They've been playing since their freshman year. So Nathaniel Bubba Chisholm.
Bubba!
Yeah, Bubba. I think he's going to be really good for us this year, Coach. He's been killing it in the weight room. He's trying to become a leader. Very proud of Bubba. He's been doing very well. And we have in our secondary, Deion Duncan, 2 guys in the past two years since I've been at Islands. So really excited about those guys. We got a young group of linebackers, but they have a lot of varsity experience. And then also DeMonte Smith, he'll be on our defensive line also. I'm excited to see what he can do this year.
Well, he looks like a bruiser. So we got to go wrap this up. So overall, first-year head coach. I mean, you got 3 games under your belt, which is good. So now you know what to expect. What's your philosophy going to be to these young men, and what's your philosophy going to be over there at Islands High School as they are classified now as student athletes? Yes, sir.
My philosophy has always been discipline first. We're going to be very well coached, very disciplined. We're going to do what we do best. That's our biggest thing. We're going to focus on us and try to control what we can control. And that's one thing that we can't control is our character and our discipline and our assignments, Coach. And we're going to go out and make some noise, hopefully.
And, I don't know if you've been by the field. We were there the other night to honor the seniors. We did that lighting the stadium for the first time ever. But the lines are down on the track, and it looks like a stadium now.
Good. I haven't been by this weekend, but I will. I'll be back there tomorrow.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I'll go by there tomorrow probably.
AD?
Well, Coach, hey, best of luck to you. I know your philosophy, obviously your character is going to set the stage for the guys at Islands, and you got a tremendous amount of talent over there. New region going into as well with BC, New Hampstead coming back
and Jenkins.
Back down, and Jenkins. So a tough region, but man, it sounds like you guys have got a great way paved for the future. And best of luck to you, and good luck in the fall, and go get them.
Thank you, sir. Good luck.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks for being patient. Sorry about me messing up for the first 15 minutes, but, the old ball coach makes mistakes too. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. I understand.
Coach, thank you. Have a good one.
Appreciate
All right,
you.
y'all do the same. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
I mean, just a young, energetic guy.
Yeah.
Like I said, Jaden Adams, a 3-sport standout for the Sharks, plays football, basketball, and track. Finished out the season in the starting quarter. Said the players are looking forward to playing for Coach Printup. I mean, he says, I'm happy he was hired, and he has shown he believes in us, and he knows how we are. which you're not going to get with a brand new coach.
Well, the thing is about Coach Printup that you look at, anybody that takes over right in the middle of the season, someone's got to have immense confidence in them for one, and so obviously they got a lot of confidence in Coach Printup. Two, the relationships. That's the first thing out of his mouth today was the relationship aspect, that if you don't have a relationship with the kid won't play hard for you. And obviously, he's played under great coaches, especially with Coach Lamb in high school, and then going back there and being mentored by Coach Lamb. And it's just those people that impact lives. Now he's turning around and going to impact a new generation of lives, which coaching is really about.
What I think is he also knows Savannah. He went to Savannah State. Yes. He played there. He knows the community. He knows what the kids have to deal with as far as all the holidays and all the beach extravaganzas and everything else that goes on. So he knows what's going to, what these kids are going to have to deal with. And, that's what you want. And I got my start as a head football coach at 27. So I know what it was. Everybody says, 27, 28, 29, you're too young. Hey, you got to give somebody a chance sometimes.
Stroud was right around there. Might have been a little bit earlier than that.
I think Coach Stroud was like 22 when he started, right out of college.
I think it was a year or two at Swainsboro, and then he got the job at Toombs. I remember he talked about he went 1-9, and then didn't miss the state playoffs ever after that. And
So great interview, Coach Printup. Best of luck. Once again, as I always say in school, as always, go Sharks. Keep up the great work. And anytime you want to pick my brain, I do know something about football. There's a younger guy named Coach DeMasi. He thinks he knows it all, but I know more than he does. Now, I'm only joking with you. So once again, we got to thank our sponsors. Waiting in our studio, that's right, we have a broadcast studio, is our Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week, Gavin, Stewart. Hold tight. We got to thank our sponsors. Let's go with the first guy that lets us do this every Saturday morning right here in the Soundgarden.
We got to thank John Harrison and Coach's Corner here allow us to be in this beautiful Soundgarden. We've been blessed with some amazing weather during this time, and it's beautiful to be out here. And so all sports, all the time, that's Coach's Corner and Thunderbolt. Coach's Corner has been voted the best in Savannah for 20 years running, and it's no wonder sports, music, delicious, abundant pub food, and smoked meats they have. No matter what the season, there's always a reason to check out Coach's Corner. Right now, it's all about helping Savannah be Savannah strong. Coach's is open for lunch or dinner, but remember, it's curbside, takeout, or delivery only. All right, so right now, you got some smoked meats that they're not smoking today. They smoked them yesterday. They're taking a day off. They've not stopped since this thing's been going. But they do have a full menu inside, and they do have smoked meats from yesterday. All you got to do is get it and warm it up. It will taste just as good. You can order or call into Coach's Corner at 912-352-2933. Once again, it's 912-352-2933.
All right. Calvary Day School, another proud sponsor of my show. I don't know when it started, but it seems like they've been here forever, and I got to thank them, okay? At Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary Day, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School would consider it a privilege to meet your family personally, virtually, right now, social distancing. And this guy, it seems like every time you turn around, it's an alumni from Calvary Day School, graduated in 2003, heck of a baseball player, played under Coach Farmer, and now he's the director of missions, and he's still a baseball coach. Call Coach Philip Lee at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
I'm going to let you do Rockies.
Okay, go right ahead.
And I'm going to do Thompson's and Wetherington Chiropractic.
You got it. So you go with Thompson's.
I'm going with Thompson's. For half a century when it comes to uniforms, sporting goods, or trophies, Thompson's has got you covered. From cleats to caps and the best prices on the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. Yes, we know they're closed right now, and hopefully, this thing starts coming to an end. We'll get them back open. During the hours, but locally owned. And always remember, Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies. Everyone is a winner. Okay, so this is my cue to do the one that I love to do. Okay, so let me get my read. I should know it by heart, but I got to still read it. Okay, yo, you still want some New York deli and Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road in Savannah, Georgia. Visit Bill Fasiccio and the girls, okay? During this social distancing problem, curbside service, takeout, they do deliver. Rocky's New York Deli and County will take calls for pickup.
912-354-2914. That's 912-354-2914 on the phone. You understand what I mean? Capiche? Okay. If you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian catering goods delivered to you, not on the arm. You know, Bill Fasicio's got to keep himself busy and taking care of his employees. But go to SavannahTakeout.com. That's SAVTakeout.com. Place the order. Remember, Rocky's New York Deli and Italian catering. We ain't New York. We are New York. And forget about it, y'all.
There we go. All right. Now we're going to bring up this young man, the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts and everybody hurts all the time. It makes you mad. The pain drives you crazy. You just want to pick something up and throw across the room if you can. At the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and, of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, at 329 Eisenhower Drive, and where it's cooler and pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
All right, and this is, I've been saying it for I don't know how many years. This is my favorite part of the show. This is where we bring on the good kids that have done something special. This young man is an exceptional 3-sport athlete. It runs in the family. His brother, his sister, now him. I mean, he's played over a million games in football, basketball, and soccer for the cadets. We can go on and on about his statistics. I mean, Savannah Morning News first team in football. He's also a kicker, all right? He scored the most points in the city this year. I mean, it's unbelievable what he's done. He led the area in scoring. Basketball, steady, 5 points a game, but he's a leader on the field, on the court. He was the captain. And in soccer, I mean, the kid is all world. I mean, freshman, junior, sophomore years, all Savannah Morning News first team. Over 70 goals in his career, 43 assists. 91 goals, 70 assists. I mean, it's unbelievable. 2 state champions back-to-back in 17 and 18. They would have had a chance this year. So far, they only played like 5 or 6 games. He had 5 goals. It was simply amazing. Joining us now on the Coach's Corner internet streaming hotline is the man himself from Benedictine Military School, senior student athlete, Gavin Stewart. Let's get him right there. Gavin, what's up?
What's up? How you doing?
Well, I'm glad you could join us, and I know we're a little behind schedule here, but once again, it's always great having kids on here, especially the third Stewart. We've already talked to Brad a number of times. Yeah. We talked to your sister a number of times. This is the first time for you, but congratulations on a great high school career, and I do apologize that your senior season was cut a little short.
Yeah, yes, sir. Thank you so much, and it's what's for the best at the end of the day, so you just got to be respectful towards that.
Hey, Gavin, I'm looking at your room there. Tell me about all the jerseys you got lined up behind you. I love that, man. Give me some insight to that.
Okay, so those are my sister's 2 jerseys. There's a third one behind it, but those are my sister's. That was my brother's at Georgia Tech, and that's my football one, and that's my soccer one, and that's our trophies and everything.
Nice, man. I love it. Hey, I'm a soccer guy, so I'm going to ask you the soccer questions. All right, so who's your favorite soccer team? Let's talk about professional here. Who do you follow from the soccer world?
I've always been a big fan of Chelsea and Barcelona too, just because I'm a big fan of Messi. But yeah, Chelsea, it's kind of it's always whenever I pick, whenever I play FIFA and everything. I always love it. So.
That was going to be my next question: is who your favorite player was, and you tell us Messi. What is it about Messi you love so much?
I mean, he's just the type of player he is just kind of he's everywhere, kind of at once, just dribbling through everyone, just putting in the back of the net. He's just a great forward and everything, knows how to score. So, I mean, that's what I like about him. He knows how to get to the net.
Well, like Coach says, I've always thought of you as probably an exceptional soccer player, and I know the football. You've been out there since you're a freshman, and you were kicking extra points way back then. And this last 2 years, you came into Iona, and you've always been steady on the basketball court. When did you start getting involved in all these sports? When can you remember is the earliest time that Gavin Stewart started playing sports?
It had to be at the YMCA whenever I was 2 or 3 years old, and it was soccer. That was my first sport that I played, then basketball. Then I didn't play football till 7th grade, I don't think. So it was just kind of my whole life. I thought I was always going to go somewhere for soccer until this past year, and just things changed. So, yeah.
Well, walk us through that, Gavin, because you've had a illustrious soccer career, one of the best in Savannah for sure. I mean, obviously you had 90 career goals. You would have obviously broke the 100 career goal mark, if the season would have continued. But walk us through, what made you kind of a step to the football side, and obviously you'll get to walk on and kick at Tech. But hey, I'm a soccer guy. I mean, I loved it.
Yeah.
I mean, so much and so passionate about it. What was the transition for you? What was that moment to say, hey, I'm going to go with this football thing and kind of step away from the soccer thing?
Yeah. So junior year and everything, or it was actually sophomore year, that was whenever I got my first offer for soccer. It was from Georgia Southern, and I was pretty hooked upon it and kind of thought that's where I was going to end up. But once going into senior year, I got some offers, so then I kind of started to change my mind. And throughout the whole football season, I was just felt like I could dedicate myself more to football, if that makes sense. Because soccer, it's weird because the way to get better is kind of scrimmage and do the same things over and over again. And I've done it my whole entire life, and it's not necessarily I was burnt out from it, but I feel like I'd maybe get to the point where I was. So football is just something you can do a lot of different things, different types of workouts, and you're just doing a bunch of things with your team, bonding together and making brotherhood friendships. And that's just really what I love about it. So that's what really changed my mind.
A lot more brothers involved instead of the 22 right? 22 usually you carry on the soccer team. You're talking about 90 to 115 kids over there at BC. Now,
Yes, sir.
3-sport athlete, what is the routine that you have used to keep yourself in shape? I mean, because each sports has their own routine to make you bigger, faster, and stronger.
So during the quarantine break, or just all
just
in all?
overall general to become the athlete that you are.
I think he's asking moving from one sport to
another.
Next. What's your routine when you move from the football field? Obviously, summer workouts with football. Then you go into football, and then you transition into basketball, and then into soccer. Is there a specific routine, or is it just a strength conditioning program at BC?
I mean, the strength and conditioning program at BC is honestly awesome. It's better than, personally, I think, than any the public schools and everything around us. But that's just me being biased too. It's just freshman year, you get in there summer year, and it's the hardest you've ever worked. Throwing up weight, increasing every day, just because you've really never worked out before high school. So whenever I'm transitioning, my workouts necessarily change, but my conditioning does. When I go to basketball to soccer, I remember this year I almost died. We ran around the field 3 times because basketball is so just going back and forth, and soccer is more an endurance thing. And it takes a little bit to get used to. Right when the season just ended with the whole coronavirus thing, I was starting to really get in my soccer shape, but then everything happened, and football is just kind of to I don't know, it's just kind of get big, get faster, then that's where that's at. And going into basketball season, it's just it's not really that difficult besides shooting. You got to get your shooting back down, just because you can still keep your stockiness and everything. And so
Are you involved in any other clubs over there at Benedictine? Because, I mean, you're playing 3 sports. You're always practicing. You're always going from here to there. What about other clubs, and how do you take care of your academics?
So I'm in student council and the treasurer for Benedictine, and math club and National Honor Society. So those are the 3 things that I do. And, I mean, really the way I maintain it is try to get as much done as I can in school. Really, if I get the assignment assigned that day, try to get it before practice. And if I do, what I do is every time I get home, I don't really spend too much time on my phone, but go and take a shower, eat, and then just straight get to it. Then I'll go on my phone for however long I want to, instead of just being on my phone and doing it super late at night. I just get it done with, so I don't have to worry about it. But that's kind of the way that's been keeping me.
Just so you know, if you're tuning in, we're on Facebook Live. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump on you. You're watching Karl DeMasi Sports with the coach, Karl DeMasi, the AD.
Chad Griffin.
And, of course, our Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic guest or our Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week from Benedictine Military School senior Gavin Stewart. So that's who we are if you just tuned in. And if you tuned in from New York or North Carolina, wherever you may be watching, you have any relatives outside the Georgia area?
I don't. I'm not going to lie. I do not. Everyone's really just from Savannah. My dad grew up. He was born and raised in Savannah. My mom was. So everything's, I like it though, because you can see everyone.
The one thing I was going to ask you, Gavin, obviously with two older siblings, tell me about, what's your most memorable competitive moment with, I'm sure as you got older and you got two older siblings who, I mean, you have to be uber competitive, probably exists in that family. So tell me some moments, growing up or maybe recently, you're probably all home. What's that been like with having three of you there? Then tell me about the competitive nature, probably some pickup moments or pickup games you guys have had in the Stewart family.
Yeah. I mean, so every day, especially like during this like quarantine break, we've been going outside. Like, me and my brother will play like horse or pig, like the basketball game, like get like super into it. Or if we're just like doing like one-on-one or spike ball, we've been getting into spike ball a lot.
Yeah.
Then my sister, she plays volleyball, so me and my brother and sister, we've been out there, like basically just learning how to play, and then just like going on the boat and everything. But honestly, like whenever I first realized it was whenever we used to always be at Mayfair. That's where we lived before our new house, and we would just always like be in the front yard, like getting each other hurt, just getting like mad at each other and losing. And sometimes be me because I was always the little one, but I used to always like just try to jump in there with like my brother and his friends, and just if I got hurt, but it was just fun to do it. And that was when I probably realized like that's when the competitiveness really kicked in.
Your family's always behind you, and so tell us about your family, how much it's influenced not just your brother and your sister, Brad Stewart and Sarah Stewart, but your mom and dad. How much have they helped you get through this process now that you're going to go to the next level and you're going to be a Yellow Jacket?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they've been great. My mom's very supportive. She's more of like a support on like the emotional side of it, you could say. And my dad's just kind of like the hard-nosed guy, like just like get through it and everything. And they're both very good to me, especially like my siblings, my brother and sister. They've been giving me advice, what to expect and everything like that. So,
well, walk us through your choice to pick tech. Obviously your brothers graduated from there, and so just kind of walk us through. Hey, what was it about Georgia Tech specifically? What about the program? New coach. I mean, Calvary's got Daquan Dowse up there, and he speaks volumes about what he loves about Tech and new coaching staff. But tell us about your choice of choosing Tech and a little bit the why behind it.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, just to start off with like the academic sides of it, it's really nothing like you can beat. And like my whole life, I've loved math and science. So like I've always kind of like fell in love with engineering and just like seeing like people like build these like crazy things. Like there's just some crazy stuff you can do, and it's like very interesting to me. So that's one big thing that persuaded me to really like go there and commit there. And also just the fact of being in Atlanta, like the way you can network yourself with so many like businesses for like future stances outside of just football. And like when you graduate, it's just something that is very special, and I love that fact. And also you can't forget about the new coaching staff and everything. Like I love everything that they're doing. Coach Popovich, I love him, that he's the special teams coordinator. And yeah, I mean, that's really why I chose to go there.
Now, why'd you choose the pigskin over the round ball? Sorry, what do we call a soccer ball? Not a round ball, that's basketball. Soccer ball, sorry. Football, the real football, F-U-T.
Mm-hmm. So, like I was saying earlier, it was just I really thought that's where I was going to go for soccer, next level, kind of like my whole life until this past year and a little bit of junior year with football. Then like I started getting like interest in everything. And then I realized, just came to realization that I'd be able to like dedicate myself more to football rather than soccer, because soccer is kind of like a more like a repetitive thing, and football's you're doing a ton of stuff, and also there's like more competing in it, whether it's like in the weight room or on the field. It's just so many things you can do to get better.
And they're going to do that with kickers? You're a kicker. You don't do anything except kick the ball during practice, which is not true. Tell us about your virtual workouts, too.
Mm-hmm. The virtual workouts are fun. Coach Lou, he's been posting everything every day. Like, it's funny. You have like his kid on him or something like that. Or you have the backpacks. But I'm not going just for like kicker. I'm doing both receiver and kicker.
Nice.
So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Very good.
I'm gonna tell our viewers.
Yeah. Tell everybody.
They didn't know. So tell us about
everybody thinks you're just going to be a kicker.
Yeah, man. Walk us through exactly what your goals are at Tech.
Mm-hmm. So the first thing I am going to try is if I can get on the field like first as a kicker. But if things don't work out or whatever, I'm gonna like really push hard to be like a slot receiver and do anything I can to get on like any type of special team, whether it's like punt or just like being like a gunner on kickoff or things like that, and work my way up like through the years. But basically there's like no kickers at Georgia Tech right now. The 2 left that were on scholarship. So there's 3 guys going in.
Nice.
All PWOs, walk-ons. So yeah.
Okay. You're listening to the coach and the AD right here on the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. And we're talking to our Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week. We got to make sure we get his names up next time, but that's my fault. But anyway, Gavin Stewart from Benedictine. Now, Benedictine, your brother went there. You're there. What has Benedictine meant to Gavin Stewart as a person, as a student? Tell us what it means to go to Benedictine Military School.
Yeah. It's a lot of people are sometimes like against BC, but I completely disagree. I love it. The fact, like, it's like everyone, whenever you hear all boys school, everyone's like, oh, what? Like, what? But it's something that's honestly like I love about the school, and you can get close. And the brotherhood, especially, and spirituality are 4 things. And it's just something that's very special, and BC really like prepares you for the next level. Like in classes, the teachers are great. Mr. Horn, Mr. Farmer, and football side workouts, Coach P, Coach Housen, and all them. And it's something that's just rounded me out as like a man, like as a whole. And I feel it's, like created me into a young man and disciplined me. And I feel like I'm ready like for like the next steps in life. And whenever things get hard, I'll be prepared more than other people, I believe.
Well, Gavin, man, it's been great to have you on today. It's been great to listen to your backstory, your families, and then just how you've been able to manage and juggle the 3 sports all together coming up through your time at BC. And, man, we wish you best of luck. Excited for you now at Tech. Now everybody knows a little bit more. You're not just going there to kick. You're going to get on the field as well, however you want to do it. And that's what an athlete wants to do. However they can get on the field first is what they want. And so, man, we're excited once again about following you from Savannah, watching you do great things up there at Georgia Tech, and to be your own person. And so, man, we're so proud of you, and best of luck in the future.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Gavin, always great to talk to you. I've been waiting for this opportunity to get the last Stewart on. I can't believe this is the last Stewart in the Stewart family, and the young gun. And like Coach Griffin said, it's been a lot of fun watching you play all 3 sports, and you've excelled in all 3. And once again, you're going up there with the attitude, I'm not just a kicker, which is great. And once again, we're proud of you. Make us proud. I know you will. And as you always say, go Cadets, but now it's go Yellow Jackets.
Go Jackets, baby.
All right. And that's why you're this week's Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week for April 25th, 2020, Gavin Stewart. I will get you a plaque when, of course, because Dr. Bart Wetherington has a plaque for this award, when we're allowed to talk to each other and we can do a little socializing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yes, sir. I got you.
You can add with your brothers and sisters now. Say, yeah, I did it too.
I will.
Thanks, Gavin.
Awesome. Thanks, Gavin.
All right, yes, sir. Thank you so much for all
Tell
this.
everybody said hello.
Yes, sir. I will.
All right. I mean, just a great kid. Great family. Brad Stewart, Sarah Stewart. I mean, just so athletic, and and they're all humble, and they're all reserved. I mean, Sarah Stewart, I know, she would come on, she'd be very nervous. Sarah, just relax. And Brad would be the same way, and Gavin's the same way. But what impressed me was the young man knows what he wants to do when he goes up there to Georgia Tech. And we got to thank the man for this segment, which is every week. It's been going on since 2010. He's been with me since day one, Dr. Bart Wetherington. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time. It makes you mad. The pain drives you crazy. You just want to pick something up and throw it across the room, or try to go one-on-one with Gavin, Stewart, whether it be football, basketball, soccer. I don't think it's going to happen. So at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care, pain relief, help you move better, and, of course, achieve a healthier life. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is located in 2 locations, Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, right here in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive, and on Tuesdays and Thursdays in Pooler, Georgia, at Suite 603 at 114 Canal Street. So visit the doctor, Dr. Bart Wetherington, at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs. Yes, he is open from 8:30 to 6 every day, Monday through Friday. You got a problem? He'll help you with it.
He's there for you. Hey, now we're going to talk about Thompson Sporting Goods here. For over half a century, when it comes to uniforms, sporting goods, and trophies, Thompson's got you covered from cleats to caps, best prices for the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. When they get back in the gear, you'll be able to go by and see them, locally owned and operated for a long time here in Savannah. All right, and you go see Thompson's Sporting Goods Trophies, where everyone is a winner.
Okay, this is my favorite one, and I know I'm not going to let the Southern boy do it, but you want some Italian food? You need an Italian deli? Well, we got one right here in Savannah, Georgia, and they're open. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering. Hey, you want some baked ziti for dinner? The man can cook up some baked ziti. The man can cook some chicken parmigiana. Chicken parmesan. Okay, so eggplant parmesan. It's a little joke between me and the Southern boy here. So a little inside joke. But anyway, yo, you still want some real New York deli and Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is located at 76 Skidaway Road in Savannah, Georgia. That's down in Sandfly. During this social distancing problem, Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering will take calls for pickup at 912-354-2914. That's 912-354-2914 on the phone. Capiche? Okay, if you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Caterings delivered, go to savtakeout.com. That's Savannah, savtakeout.com to place the order. And remember, Rocky's is New York. We ain't New York. I blew that one. Sorry, we ain't New York style. We are New York. Forget about it. I blew that one. I know. Come on.
No, man. It happens. Hey, we're blessed to be here at Coach's Corner. Beautiful sound garden out back here. Gorgeous weather once again here in Savannah. Make sure you get outside today. It's just, just want a beautiful, beautiful day. But thanks once again to John for letting us be here today. So we got to talk about Coach's Corner. All sports, all the time. Coach's Corner and Thunderbolt. Coach's Corner has been voted the best in Savannah for 20 years running, and it's no wonder. Sports, live music, delicious, abundant pub food, and smoked meats are still available today. All right, so right now it's all about helping Savannah be Savannah strong. Coach's open for lunch or dinner, but remember, it's curbside takeout or delivery only, okay? So you got to call, place your order, 912-352-2933. Once again, that's 912-352-2933. Come see everybody here at Coach's Corner.
And they got a little mom and pop shop set up inside.
Don't forget about that.
You need some TP, toilet paper. You need some paper towels. You need something else. They got shrimp salad. They got egg salad. I mean, they got it here, right here. It's a little mom and pop shop inside. So stop by and see John and Adele Henderson at Coach's Corner. And this school has been supporting the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. And I got to give them a big shout out. At Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision. Faith, academics, excellent, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School would consider it a privilege to meet you virtually, personally, when we get out of this social distancing thing. You got to call the man, class of 2003, the head baseball coach, but during the daytime, he's got to make some money. He's got to have a real job. He's the director of admissions, Philip Lee. Call him at 351-2299. That's 351-2299. Well, I know we have a little glitch. We'll get the system down. It was my fault. I didn't have the right speaker set up to start off with our first guest. We got to thank him. New York Post columnist, sports writer for 40 years. He's got unbelievable stories to tell us. I mean, it was simply amazing. That's Kevin Kernan. Just so you know who he is, his daughter, Kelly Cameron, married to Mark Cameron. Mark Cameron is the brother of Jason Cameron, former Jenkins coach, now Vidalia. They moved down south. And Mark said to me, you want to talk some baseball, a guy that knows his stuff? I said, I'd love to talk to Kevin Kernan. I mean, he also, if people don't realize this, he's being inducted into New York State Baseball Hall of Fame. Not Cooperstown, but New York State Baseball Hall of Fame.
That's pretty big.
You're talking about Thurman Munson. You're talking about Mickey Mantle. You're talking about unbelievable New York Mets that have been inducted. Tom Seaver. I mean, it's a pretty big deal. So for him to go in with those guys, I mean, it's simple special. And, of course, we got to thank the new coach.
Yeah, man, what a great opportunity today to get to know Coach Printup up there at Allen's High School. He took over 3 games remaining in the season, did a phenomenal job. You can just tell by listening to him, his passion, his enthusiasm, what he's going to continue to build Allen's on is relational, discipline, and fundamentals. And the fact that he played for Coach Lamb at Calhoun came out of a great program, came out of a great mentor, and he's obviously going to take that knowledge and pass it on to his Sharks there at Allen High School.
Great guy, great young kid. Still a kid. He's only 29. He's energetic, and he's willing to go out there and do the extra for those kids. Hopefully he has a lot of success. Hey, he was 2-1 for 3 games when he was the interim head coach. So, and he played everybody tough. Hung with BC, beat Savannah High, and beat Windsor Forest, who went on to the playoffs. So got to give him a lot of credit. And, of course, our last guest, always a lot of fun. That's why I do this show. Local sports, local kids. Gavin Stewart, the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week from Benedictine Military School. I mean, great family. His brother and sister were exceptional student athletes. Brad went to Georgia Tech. Hey, Sarah went to Mercer. I think she's still at Mercer. Yeah. Just simple special thank them for coming on. So this is where we close out the show. We take 3 steps out the door. This week, I get to ask him three questions out the door. So let's start with the first one that he asked me, okay? Okay, let's go, Parmigiana. What's your favorite food to eat?
All right, well, I'm going to tell you my favorite meal. All right, my mom didn't cook a lot growing up. I mean, she worked all the time. She was a plant manager for Freightliner up in North Carolina. So it's a lot of different things. But my mom made the best homemade hamburger and homemade fries like you could ever have. Black, old school skillet pan she make it in. And today, that is like my most memorable and favorite meal that she used to ever make. I do have to say one caveat to that. For my birthday every year, she used to make me a Milky Way cake. And now my wife makes it. And I eat one slice. Basically,
Milky Way cake.
Milky Way cake. About 12 Milky Ways are in that cake. So 2 favorite things I get to eat there.
And my wife makes a chocolate chip pie. So we'll have a little battle right here, okay? Hey, D, that's why I am what I am, okay? And then, of course, second question. If you were a college football player and you're sitting there in the NFL draft, what would be the number 1 team that you want them to draft you? Got you on that one.
I'm a North Carolina guy. Now I grew up before we had the Panthers in Carolina. I grew up a huge Dallas fan. I grew up a Dallas fan because my parents liked the Redskins, so I wasn't gonna like anything my parents liked. So I was a Cowboys fan. I love the star on the side of the helmet. The idea of being a Dallas Cowboy. And so if I couldn't go play for Carolina, I want to play that star on my helmet and play for the Cowboys.
The Cowboys. I thought he would have said the Panthers. The Cowboys. The Cowboys. Oh, America's team. I'm from New York. The Giants and the Jets. Okay, I got you. So, okay. Last question, okay? If you had to choose one sport that you would want to play so bad, but you knew that you had another sport that you're better at, what sport would that be?
I always wanted to be – I love baseball growing up. I mean, I love playing baseball. I didn't continue to play baseball because I couldn't hit a curveball very well. that ended my baseball career as I got through high school. And that's where I was a much better soccer player than I was baseball. But I loved baseball growing up. If I could have hit better, I was a good fielder, played second base, played first, could play a corner outfield. I tracked the ball well, had good hand-eye coordination. Obviously, being a goalkeeper, that was one. But I just could not hit a breaking ball. And so, but I love baseball. I would do anything to go back and be able to be a baseball player.
There you have it. 3 steps out the door with the AD, Chad Griffin. Well, it's been a great show, Chad. It's been a lot of fun.
Always.
I mean, the last 2 weeks have been exceptional with the people that we've had on. And I know about you, but I've been glued to the TV set because we got live sports. If I could dance, I would have danced Thursday night to have just for the NFL draft to be on. I mean, how did you feel about that?
Well, obviously, we felt like everybody else at 15.5 million viewers, the most viewed NFL draft in the history of it. I know we're all sitting at home, we're all quarantined, but man, 15.5 million viewers on that first night, phenomenal. It just shows you where the people are and how much they want sports back.
I mean, it's unbelievable. And we had round 2 yesterday, round 3 today. I can't
2 and 3 last night.
2 and 3 last night.
Yeah. So
did
4 through 7 today.
Jake Fromm never got drafted?
Not yet. Not yet.
It's unbelievable. You don't know who's going to be good and who's not. Tom Brady didn't get drafted to the 6th round.
That's what people are waiting on.
So, but there's one thing that's going to happen tomorrow night. I watched both segments last Sunday night, segments 1 and 2. I wasn't excited about it because I lived it. Okay, I know exactly what was going on. I knew the Scottie Pippen problems. I didn't know that Krause was that much of a bad guy, but that's what they're making him out to be. Phil Jackson, hate to tell you, baby, New Yorker. I watched Phil Jackson play for the Knicks and help him win a championship, and I wish he would have came back to coach the Knicks, not be their general manager, but that didn't work out well. Yeah. So tomorrow night, I'll be watching parts 3 and 4. How about you?
Oh, I'll be glued to it. DVR is set, ready to go.
And in honor of that, this is the best introduction, or one of the best introductions in sports. Hopefully they can hear it. If you can hear it, let me know you can hear it. Great. I'm getting goosebumps just listening to this. It's one of the best intros in sports ever. What more do I got to say? What more do I got to say? Central Arkansas. Most underpaid, underrated basketball player ever, I think. Was a janitor. Best rebounder in history. Not one top Conference 5 player yet. Miami, Ohio. This is no other. Man. Woo. Whoops. So we leave you on that note. Tomorrow night, you can catch the rest of the Chicago Bulls' Last Dance, written by Phil Jackson and then brought to life through the NBA. Once again, Chad, Coach Griffin, great job.
Great show,
It's
man.
the coach and AD. And remember, whatever you may be doing today, always hit it out of the park. But until next weekend, next Saturday morning, right here from the Sound Garden at
Coach's Corner.
May it be your best week ever. We're out of here. God bless. Thank you for listening to us. Sorry when we went longer than we wanted to. Usually it's about an hour and 15 minutes, but this man did a great job on the cuff, bringing the show in until we got Kernan on. Thank you. We'll talk to you
next week.
Be safe. Wash your hands. Still social distancing.
Have a great week, man. Go get them, guys.
Peace out.